Yeah, it was a wild season.
Is he going to be dealing with his, Juliet's loss during the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, the things happen in such a way that, like, I have to deal with immediately more pressing things. Like, there's a lot of a weighing. What can I do for this situation? Nothing here. This I can do something about now. So I'm a very focused guy, trying to figure out what happened, why, and then once I do, I'm just like zeroing in on people. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to build up to a point where Nick is finally just going to...
I feel like Nick's not going to be a Grimm anymore. I'm not going to be a cop.
Grimm.
I feel like he's going to be... I don't know. I feel like he's going away from the world of being a cop, going full just Grimm dude,
It feels like over the seasons, Nick has kind of embraced the more gray aspects
Yeah.
of it.
Oh, no, it's not gray anymore. It's more just like I know what's that. I just don't follow protocol anymore.
It's like, oh, well, here are the cop rules, here are the Grimm rules, but...
It's all Grimm rules now.
Well, it helps that your captain is also the best.
Well, in the new season, we come to a head a couple of times, Captain and I, and I just kind of, he wants me to stop doing what I'm doing, or else I'm like, well, or else, fine, and then I do it.
No, I haven't, and the truth is, I really don't know. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a lot. I mean, honestly, there's a lot that's just going on in the show. But the truth is, it's very difficult to keep up. You know what I mean? It's like we need Cliff Notes. You know what I mean? Just to kind of know what's going on, because you forget what's happened from one episode to the next. I look at the show as each script as like breadcrumbs. You know what I mean? And so we're either gonna go. There's either a pot of gold waiting for us at the end of the rainbow, or there's a cauldron. You know what I mean? So, and we'll see what happens at the end of season 5.
Any inklings for Russell? Hank this year?
You know what, man? I mean, here's the thing. Hank knows his role, and I'm going to go deeper into my sidekickery. I'm there to be supportive. I like to sort of look at myself as having more of this physical presence. You know what I mean? Wu has a very cerebral presence, and in terms of how we help Nick, right? And so I like to. I mean, that's why I was just telling the people over at the other table. That's why you notice, Hank doesn't need to say much. There's oftentimes a scene has been buttoned by a look or a reaction. You know what I mean? And that's his physical presence. And therefore, Hank is able to comment on things and be that button, because it's like he becomes the audience's reaction. Because I'm that grounded, leveling force. You know what I mean? I'm the lay person. You know what I mean, if you will. And so I just want to continue and having fun in that role. Just sort of accepting who my personality on the show, what I bring to the show, and just sort of enliven that.
The thing has got to be about you joining the gang.
Yes.
Finally, my wife and I just went yes at the same time.
Believe me, I went yes. Inside, a big resounding yes. Through that week, though, of finding out, I was in complete turmoil. It was a hard episode to film. Being in that, I asked Russell, I was like, was it like this for you when you found out? Because every day of filming, you're in this state of angst and like fear, and I was so exhausted.
Like, is that person vested? Is that person
I know.
vested?
No, it's great. It was great, though. I'm happy. Thank you for that. I'm lucky to get a story arc like that. They really did a good job with that, and I had a blast with it. So we'll see. Maybe a Wu Man's coming up.
What's been nice about your character is that he never lost the police work aspect of it.
No.
He still does the research. He still does all
Yeah,
of that.
but now he's so zealous about, he wants the crimes to be Vesson. He wants them to be Vesson, and he wants to be good at, just like he is as a cop, he wants to be like that in the Vesson world. He wants to be really good at it. He wants to solve it, be the first one to solve it. So I like that aspect of him. It's fun.
Situations that are really extreme, because then you get to investigate the sort of outer reaches of human experience. And that's really fun, because you get to envision things that are completely outside the realm of your personal experience, but they're very, very much embedded in the human experience. And to get to go and play in that water is really fun.
Are there going to be any chances this season to see Monroe kind of struggle with the power that he has as the best in noir versus the humanity that he also has?
That's a really good question, and I think that I think what's interesting about Monroe, among many things, is the fact that I exist. I'm a different kind of person than a lot of people of my ancestry, and I'm in between, and I think that what's fun as an actor, in addition to sort of going to the outskirts, as I was describing, it's also fun to play someone who's neither here nor there, because I think that's the truth of the human experience. It's complex, and people are never just one thing. And the more that one finds a way to live in that ambiguity, I think the more true to life you're being, and the more interesting. And I think this year there's a big new storyline that is kind of kicked off by Chavez, the Elizabeth Rodriguez character, the FBI character, that I think will enable or allow or kind of force me to deal with who I am again, and that involves the strength, and it involves the pacifism, and it will be a difficult time, I think. But this is a big, I think it's going to be an arc that'll probably go the whole season.
That Vessenrein event really tweaked Rosalie, and also, she killed someone in that, let's not forget, she actually ate someone at the end of that episode, and that on one level, Monroe and Rosalie are suppressing a lot of natural urges as Vessen, and I think that kind of woke up something in her. And I kind of consciously chose that second half of the season to have Rosalie's fuse be a little shorter, a little pissier, and she's definitely has no problem doing that again if she needs to. I think that's what woke up in her. So.
Well, because she goes from grieving for her brother and taking over his shop to kind of just being at Nick's beck and call. It's like, oh, the Grimm has a problem. Let's drop our day-to-day business and just deal with whatever it is he's got going on. Oh, Monroe's going along with it. Well, I guess I don't really have a choice. So
a little bit of that, yeah.
The fuse shortening is very understandable.
And also, I think after the Vessenrein, it was exposed to Rosalie that they're in great danger. Like, they're very exposed, and they're going along, publicly saying, we're bucking this old hideous world tradition of interspecies marriage. Is like, we're doing this, we're friends with the Grimm, we're helping them out. But I think having that event happen, it's not to say that Rosalie wouldn't take a bullet for Nick, because she would, but I think she's a little bit less excited to put herself out there in a dangerous way, because that was such a horrible event. Yeah,
because she doesn't want to go back in the Vessen closet, so to speak.
But also, it's like,
she doesn't want to be out there saying, oh yeah, hey Nick, let's go walking down the street and start talking shop. Like, no,
I think it kind of it tweaked her a little bit of I don't know, a little less certain about the decisions they're making.
Why don't you come in the back door next time?
Right.
Not coming in off the street.
Right.
How do you think Juliet's ultimate repo is going to affect your character moving forward? Because they were friends. Separate of Nick.
I think we just started episode 1 of the season, and a lot of what is great, it was so right with the writers. What's discussed with Rosalie in this episode is, everyone's like, whew, glad Juliet's dead because she was, she turned into a monster. But Rosalie, I mean, quite literally says, wait a minute, we're to blame ultimately for her death. Like, she didn't choose to be a hex and beast. She didn't choose to take that potion to save Nick. I mean, she did choose, but she was basically doing it for Nick, doing it for everyone, and she was a victim of that. And I think that's not lost on Rosalie at all. I mean, I think she's struggling and will struggle with a lot of guilt about her involvement with Juliet.
I think everyone else must know, like on the same level Rosalie knows, that it's their fault. But I feel like Rosalie is the voice of reason.
Yeah.
More often that's because Nick's going rogue, Hank's sitting there going, well, like, what? No. Like, I'm staying at the light here. And Monroe's just going, all right, well, I've got my house.
Yeah.
Bye.
No, it's true. I mean, Rosalie is definitely not afraid to call everyone out. And that's, in episode 1, that's what happens. There's a lot of that going on. So.
It sounds like she's the moral compass.
Yeah, that's what I love about the character. She is the moral compass, but what I think is interesting is that she's not perfect either. She has a very complicated past, and so she has her faults. And that's also, it's exciting. What's coming up for her is she actually, and I can say this, I've been told, is that her addictions come back this season, and that's going to be a major problem in the marriage, and a lot of bad stuff from her past starts coming back into the fold. So.